Good evening and thanks for joining us. You're watching the 9 at Night. I'm Patty Sandals. The Bexar County Sheriff is now investigating last week flights of migrants from San Antonio. 2 flights left Kelly Field last Wednesday. Now both stopped in Florida, then one went to North Carolina, the other to South Carolina, before both flights landed in the vacation hotspot of Martha's Vineyard. That's in Massachusetts. Now, Sheriff Javier Salazar says the nearly 50 Venezuelan migrants on board were originally picked up near the Migrant Resource Center here in San Antonio. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says has taken credit for the flights. Immigration attorneys say the migrants were promised jobs and housing when they arrived, but that did not happen. The migrants on those flights were then were here in the U.S. legally. They were already being processed by immigration authorities. Tonight, Sheriff Javier Salazar is facing accusations from the families of a San Antonio woman and her 2 daughters. It's been 3.5 years since their bodies were found near the Anaqua Springs home. The families want the Texas Rangers to take over the investigation into the deaths of the 10-year-old London Briviesca and 16-year-old Alexa Montes and their mother, Nicole Olson. The medical examiner ruled the case a murder-suicide, but Sheriff Javier Salazar has directed investigators to keep looking into the case. The families say since 2020 they haven't heard from the sheriff's office and have often felt attacked by the sheriff.
He's on horses and he's showing off new boats and he's showing off new tech and he wants to talk about how great he is, but he doesn't like anything that shines a negative light upon him. So it's horrible, but it makes sense that he doesn't want to talk to us because I think we're a constant reminder of the fact that he made a lot of mistakes on this case.
And the Texas Attorney General's office has received the family's letters with a request, but no decision has been made. We asked the Bexar County Sheriff's Office for an interview, but the sheriff was not available. His office sent a statement saying they have not seen the letter and BCSO continues to investigate this case, despite the assigned investigators' difficulties in getting information from the family's attorney. In part, it reads, the assigned investigator will continue to devote his efforts until every facet of this investigation has been completed in order to provide closure for the families of Nicole Olson, Alexa Montes, and London Briviesca. Well, a man rushed to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the chest. San Antonio police say he was shot at a home behind a meat market. Officers say that victim then ran to this store on Flores Street for help. This is just north of downtown near Flores and Poplar Street. Witnesses told police they saw the suspect run away with a gun in his hand. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Investigators still don't know what led up to the shooting. Now to an update on the monkeypox outbreak. Metro Health reporting 3 more cases for our area since Friday. We are now at 55 cases of the disease. Metro Health has updated their monkeypox dashboard with vaccine eligibility requirements. There is also information on how to schedule an appointment for a dose of vaccine if you are eligible. Well, investigators at the Bexar County Crime Lab think a new investment could cut its backlog of rape kits in half within a matter of months. The county says it has invested $167,000 to improve the capacity and processing time for the kits. Garrett Berringer headed to the Crime Lab to find out how.
9 people in the Bexar County Criminal Investigations Laboratory are responsible for processing the sexual assault evidence of BCSO, SAPD, even many Laredo PD cases that have piled up into a sizable backlog.
Approximately 600 to 700 cases. It can go back about 6 to 7 months.
Part of the backlog has resulted from taking time to prepare some new machinery. But it's machinery the supervisor of the DNA section thinks will now help speed things up.
Foster says before he might be spending all day here analyzing just 1 kit for the initial processing.
With the new machinery, he's able to skip that step and go straight to extracting DNA from multiple kits simultaneously in just a matter of hours, while freeing up himself or other forensic scientists for other work.
The analyst can step away, allow the automation to take place, and that analyst can work on the downstream applications.
And it's allowed them to institute a new process where they'll look for indications of male DNA early on in the analysis. Since most sex assault cases are a female victim and male suspect, That allows them to determine if a sample will end up yielding any useful DNA. And if it won't, they can stop early on. With all those things in mind, Foster hopes they'll be able to take a big chunk out of the backlog fairly quickly.
I fully expect us to have or decrease this backlog in half, and the turnaround time, I hope, in half within those 4 to 6 months.
Helping move things along for investigators, victims, and even innocent suspects.
If we have the ability to eliminate that individual as the potential genetic donor, that obviously benefits that individual.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Now to the evolution of the east side of San Antonio. Results of a listening tour in that community are now coming to light. The San Antonio for Growth on the East Side, or SAGE, says they've uncovered several issues in the community that they want fixed. We've seen more new homes or renovated homes pop up, but months of surveys and focus groups show residents want more affordable housing, better infrastructure, and more amenities. State Representative Barbara Gervin Hawkins represents much of the east side. She says the needs differ among the different residents, businesses, and nonprofits who call the east side community home.
But my question to this group, and my hope and my prayer, is that we indeed can bring the communities together so that all boats rise, not just a few.
And the report also showed the east side's challenges include generational poverty, gentrification, and access to capital for small businesses. Well, crews are making progress on a water problem in Lytle. The city says they had to replace 2 large valves and fix a damaged water line. Crews finished work this morning, but the community of Lytle will need to continue to boil their water before using it. The city says they are trying to build up pressure on the system. That boil notice will stay in effect until sometime tomorrow. Well, it may be September, but it still feels like summer outside, and it will continue this week. Meteorologist Adam Caskey has a quick look at your forecast.
A very summer-like weather pattern is taking shape. It's going to be more like August around here than mid to late September. Starting with early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., 75 degrees. Those low gray clouds to start, giving way to a lot of sunshine. And I really don't think any rainfall except for closer to the Gulf Coast. By noon, 88 degrees, 95 the high temperature with some fair weather cumulus clouds. So mid-90s tomorrow, and then we get even warmer. We're talking upper 90s, 97 by Wednesday, 99 on Thursday, and by Friday, 98 degrees. That puts us within a few degrees of some daily record highs, and then the upper level high breaks down by the weekend, early next week, a little closer to 90.
All right, thanks, Adam. Well, Bad Bunny is helping one young survivor of the mass shooting in Uvalde by helping her family buy a new home. The Puerto Rican singer invited the 10-year-old Maya Zamora and her family to his concert. Maya was in the hospital for 66 days and during more than 20 surgeries for gunshot wounds. When she finally got out, she was scared to go home after she found out the man who shot her and killed 19 of her fellow classmates lived just blocks away. Bad Bunny was one of the people who donated money to the Correa Family Foundation, which is buying Maya and her family a new house. Well, coming up tonight on the Night Beat, details from the Uvalde CISD as it prepares to build a new elementary school, plus protecting migrants from misinformation. How LULAC is getting involved to prevent situations like the one in Martha's Vineyard. The Night Beat will air tonight after Monday Night Football. Well, a local veteran turns 100 years old this week, and you could make his birthday wish come true. The Texas Veterans Land Board shared this picture of the U.S. Army Air Force veteran Antonio Carrizales on Facebook. His 100th birthday is this Sunday, and he's hoping to get, of course, 100 birthday cards for his centennial celebration. You can send cards to this address. That's the Frank M. Tejeda Texas State Veterans Home on the 200 Veterans Drive in Floresville, Texas. You can address it to Antonio Carrizales. Well, that's it for the 9 at Night on this Monday night. We hope you'll join us back here tomorrow. Have a great night.